What's up, everybody? This is Micah, and did you do something with your hair recently? Yeah, it looks good, man. Oh, me? Yeah, I'm just hanging out in the Thieves Guild in Sentinel. Actually, it's Bubisidata or something like that. And so I did a little bit of looking at the that flow chart that shows the progression of the main quest on the unofficial Elder Scrolls pages, and I found out that the missing Prince quest that we are kind of working on from Lhotun is indeed a requirement for the main quest. So, as we saw in the last episode, Lhotun didn't want to have a thing to do with me because basically a Thieves Guild quest caused a reputation lost among the nobility in Sentinel because I got caught red-handed, basically. And so, yeah, we're going to have a hard time progressing in the main quest if we don't get um, our reputation up. So, unfortunately, this means that we have to go uh, suck up to the nobility in Sentinel. Nobody wants to do it at all, but you know what I mean. You gotta do what you gotta do. Our intention here is to finish the main quest, and by gum, that's what we're gonna do. So we're gonna, you know what? There might be a palace in Bubisidata. I'm not sure if that would necessarily count towards the reputation here. And honestly, for someone who looks like they know what they're talking about regarding Daggerfall, I honestly have a very poor understanding of how reputation works in this game. But I figure going to this palace here and talking to the folks might benefit us. And we get to see the awesome... Oh man, let me turn the HUD off. Yeah, we get to see the awesome sprites that were introduced, either with the RMB texture pack or villager immersion. I'm not sure, but oh man, look at this. We have little pools of water. This is from the famous Faces of the Iliac Bay mod that revamps the interior of palaces. This looks fantastic. So I want to go explore some, but I feel like it's rude to go do that without first talking to the important people, so let's do that. Hey, Slurtrin, you got anything for me? Okay. Yep, no, they don't have a thing that they... Oh, hey. My name is Rystar. My master has asked me to find a brave adventurer for a dangerous mission. I cannot tell you more, other than that it is worth 270 pieces, gold pieces to whoever succeeds. Whatever, man, we'll see. Go to the Buckingsley residence. There you will find my master. I don't like that at all. And I'm not even sure if this person is of the right, like, class or, like, social class for me to get the reputation benefit I need. But, you know, if Micah the player knows very little about the reputation system in Sentinel, then Bogard the character knows even less, the oaf that he is. So let's go see if we can find our way to this place. Where is General? Which one was it? Let's just get them both on our map. I think it was Buckingsley, right? Oh, I don't like the sound of this. The Buckingsley residence, yeah. Okay, yeah, I accidentally glimpsed that the name of this quest is called An Unexpected Journey. I think I know what this is, but Bogart does not, and maybe you don't either, so let's go check it out. Where are we? Okay. I've always liked the atmosphere in Sentinel, or even the... Let's go to the map. These areas like Totambu and Kozenset that are more tropical, like this is easily like the best part of the Elder Scrolls game for me is the like lower half of the Daggerfall game. I guess any of Sentinel, the continent, region. What do you call it? The province, I think. All right. A voice welcomes us in. That's good. I'm sure this will go well. Hello, yeah, I'm just here looking for some honest work. Oh, hey, mister. Uh, hey, buddy. Know me for who I really am. I'm your mortal enemy, Gurgam. I have a special fate in store for you. Okay, he's gonna cast a spell on us. Oh wait, he's just gonna fight us? Okay, I can deal with that. Oh, we actually need quite a bit more. I thought we had more healing than this. I don't want to use potions of heal true just to fight a wizard. Oh, okay. This is what I expected to happen. I was wondering, I thought my game crashed for a second. Okay. Um, we are become dungeon crawler, and we got ported to a room that just has a ton of bats in it. And this is the scary thing about this quest. I kind of know it when I see it because one time I got sent. Let me back up. In case you've just been listening, the guy sends you to somebody else instead of just giving you the quest, which is already suspicious. The person he sends you to warps you to a random spot in a dungeon. It's probably not entirely random, but instead it's a place where like a quest item could be. But instead we're the quest item. It's kind of interesting. The dangerous thing is, normally whenever we go to a random dungeon, we know where the exit is. But in this case, we are just left to our own devices. All this meat here is moldy. My shoes are accidentally off. Let's take off our shirt. All this meat's moldy, and we didn't get to restock on potions. But like I mentioned, you know, Bogard didn't know what's in store, even if I knew it was in store. So this is just the way it has to be. This door is actually locked, so we're gonna have to pound our way out of it. That was easy enough. Oh, this looks like a room. Never mind. I thought this had some teleporters. So the last time I got sent to a place like this, I got thrown into a locked bore. I got locked into a room where a mummy was just chilling. It was this tiny closet. I was already kind of low on health. And I found out that I had two diseases not long after that and no way to cure it on me. So whenever you have a disease like that, all of your stats just continually drop. And if any of them reaches 0, you're just dead on the spot. And yeah, I had the plague and like stomach rot or something like that. And I had to like fight my way out of the dungeon without knowing where I was going. Yeah, it was just a locked door. I'm pretty grateful that we ended up in what seems to be a pretty easy dungeon. Like worst case scenario, we get some diseases from fighting all these creatures. So that's pretty sweet. Sounds like there's a locked door over here. Yep. Yeah, that character that got sent to the scary place like that, he was a character I made him whenever I was tired of dying repeatedly in my Ironman playthroughs. So I made like your typical battle mage character, and he was pretty dang strong, I gotta say. Eventually, he met his end whenever I chose to rest. No, that's not true. He didn't die from resting. He died from a certain tile in a certain dungeon block that drops your health like really alarmingly quickly. Uh, yeah, those who have died from that tile know what I mean. I might have already pointed it out whenever we were in a previous dungeon with a previous character or something, but there's just no worse way to die than did my stamina just spike downward? I wonder if I'm unwell. Okay. Stamina just looks kind of low. Um Yeah, there's some ways to die in Daggerfall that just seem like strictly unfair, and that's one of them. I still like let the character die because unfair circumstances are fine in my opinion, but you know, it's just depends on your play style. Like how much do you value the time, the IRL time that you spent getting your character to that point? You can feel kind of robbed in that sense whenever it happens. Uh, hey, look, we picked the lock. This is a pretty good one. We got a map. Yo, I don't even have my LibreOffice document open. What am I doing? Got some gold. Appetite. Round shield. It looks like it's dwarven, but I don't think that does anything. Steel brigandine gloves. That's cool. Yeah, go ahead, recover that stuff, bro. Show me what you're working with. Okay. Pull to my other screen. Yo, the hold of Degtom. All right. The right one? Yep. Hold of Degtom. Cool. Well, you know, we have not had very good luck with the dungeons that we've found recently. You know, Bogard felt like such a coward in the last episode where he was just fleeing from every single encounter. So maybe we can make something work with this, either of these dungeons. Because even though this is like unfortunate, like we do have a potion of teleport that can get us out of here in a pinch. We will fail all of our sentinel quests if we have to do that because we'll end up in wait rest. But if that means saving our skin, that's fine. So it's not great to be thrown into a random part of a dungeon not knowing what kind of enemies are there. But at least we're finding a dungeon. You know what I mean? So this is, I'm just going to label my, yeah, label this fire on our map so we can come back and treat this as a rest area. Didn't I just treat? Oh, I don't think I actually rested. Really want to get our stamina back up. Yo. Level 7. All right. Let's just do some incremental level ups here. Getting willpower up could be cool. Thematically, it's nice to have greater willpower. Oh, enemy. Where? Okay, okay. I think we're fine. This cell block looks like Privateer's Hold, right? This is normally where the exit would be. It looks like we're not so lucky this time. I want to go ahead and let's just look at the map. I want to make sure that we're not missing anything, and so we can just kind of count all of this as one big dead end slash rest area. But yeah, we should round the corner. Oh, hey. Yeah, we should be rounding the corner toward that kind of open, spacious area where the skeleton is in the tutorial dungeon. Yep. Okay, yeah, let's go down this way and see what we find. Oh, this isn't what I expected. So maybe the block... Maybe I just moved to a different block than... Shit. Oh, we dropped one in one arrow. That's nice. Yeah, we should try to level up our archery some. Got one of them. Oh, man, our torch is out. Okay. We have lanterns, but I noticed that we have torches in our inventory too, so it's like, let's go ahead and use them. I do wonder... Oh, there it is. Like, where is my torch right now? If I have the, you know, the bow in one hand and the arrows in the other, where is my torch right now? Maybe our backpack has a little holster on it. Oh, I'm out of arrows already. Okay, let's get what we can back. Okay, we're up to 9 arrows. Wasn't there one more? But then he dropped in one shot, so that's like 10 at the most. Not great, but I do love me some resource scarcity. Look at this. An extinguished campfire. That's cool. This really does closely resemble Privateer's Hold, even though it seems like there are some deviations. Let's label this as a fire. Yeah, you'd think... Oh, this is a secret door after all, just like in Privateer's Hold. Yeah, and here we are. Hey, bud. Yeah, I want to level up archery, but I don't want to lose all my arrows. Okay, well, that was easy. Yeah, it's been a kind of slow week at work for me, so even though it's Thursday while I record this, this feels kind of like a Friday. It's pretty good lawn mowing weather, so I went and got a 6-pack of what you call Shinerbach. If you're not... I don't know, does Shinerbach exist outside of Texas? Probably, but it's like a kind of a staple. I used to drink a lot of craft beer, and not like copious amounts, maybe in my college days. But for some reason, I get like really bad headaches, even from like 1 or 2 certain beers. It's a bummer because I really love the flavor of IPAs and the taste, but I'm just like miserable the whole day afterward. Like, and I'm not. It's not even like a hangover thing. I mean, like that same day, I'll get like a really crippling migraine. It happened one time where my wife and I had tickets to the Denver Nuggets game, and so we're neither of us are really into basketball. I got nothing wrong. Like I don't have a bone to pick with the sport. It's just like I don't know, never been my thing, but it's fun to watch if you have the chance. So we went to check it out, and I had one like 16-ounce IPA, and like I started getting a headache at the game. It turned into a migraine that night, and I actually didn't get any relief from the migraine until like 3 or 4 p.m. the next day. And like her parents were coming to visit, so I wanted to be able to engage with my family, and so it was just, yeah, it was terrible. I don't know what it is, but in a way, it's like a blessing because it makes me avoid alcohol most of the time. Um, so it's like at least I know I won't be an alcoholic, right? Can I light this, or is it not working? I don't think so. This is a pretty cool chamber, though. Has a tapestry and a bed. I like these little rest areas. Actually, let's go ahead and use it as a rest area. We want to close the door before we do that, but yeah. Enemies nearby. Okay. That didn't help at all. Yeah, you know, maybe this is a kind of blessing in disguise as a dungeon. Like, it's going to take a long time for us to find the exit, I'm not going to lie. But in that last episode, we got just stomped by so many, like, encounters just completely humbled and humiliated us. Oh, this is a magically held lock. Magically held lock. So I sure hope the exit is not that way, because we would be forced to use our potion of teleport in that case. But yeah, maybe this is going to be a sort of easy way. Enemies nearby. An easy way for us to get our just various training in different skills. Oh, hello. I kind of wish we had more arrows to use on archery. We might be able to successfully recycle. How many do we have now? Yeah, we still have 10. But that's kind of pushing it. Oh, you know, we're kind of low on stamina, and we're having a hard time resting. So let's go ahead and eat some of this meat. And hopefully our stamina will come back naturally. Anyway, yeah, it's lawn mowing weather. We got some shiner block to hang out with. My monitor on? Yeah, I have the baby monitor with me. I hope the volume is down. I'd use this strategy so I could like realize whenever there's a screaming baby coming at me before y'all hear it, or before I hear it in post and have to edit it out. Although I haven't really had a lot of time for post editing recently. You know, back whenever my job was pretty slow and we didn't have like a huge amount of tickets coming in. As a friendly reminder, I do tech support. Sometimes it's slow, and I can just like, instead of watching other YouTube videos in the background during my work, I would listen to my own, and then I would just like switch the inputs on my computer screens and like go edit on the fly in between tasks and stuff like that. Things have been pretty chaotic at my job, so I haven't had that opportunity, and so I've made a couple of editing errors here and there. Okay, we are back. I was like mid-thought whenever I heard "Dada," and yeah, good old Hudson woke up from his nap and put a pause on our session here. Sometimes I'll try to get greedy, and I'll like, oh, he's asleep. Let me go see if I can get a little bit of gaming done. Because the more I do during the day, the more freed up my night becomes. Anyway, I think I went back and listened some there. Re-listened, you might say. Listened for the first time to the old video so I could get back on my train of thought. Yeah, I've had less and less time to commit to YouTube and editing videos as this series has progressed. I don't know how people do this, to be frank, with like a full-time job, and like I do pretty low effort stuff. So maybe the people that really get into YouTube like actually enjoy the act of the creation. And don't get me wrong, I enjoy playing video games as much as the next guy, but having a toddler in the house adds like a layer of unpredictability to it. And the act of editing, which again I do very minimal of, it's kind of tedious, laborious, and yeah, like I said before, I'd rather get hit with a hammer than do it most of the time. So I generally just like trim down the parts that are like objectionable and keep the rest. So let me try to figure out what we were doing in this dungeon. Um, oh yeah, I didn't even go to the privateer's hold room. Yeah, let's go back here and check out the main room. Our stamina is getting kind of low. Wasn't there like a rest spot? There were a couple of them. Yeah, if we go back toward privateer's hold. I keep calling it that. It's not really what it is. Yeah, here it is. Will I be able to rest here? It sounds like... Okay, did I pick up any meat? I thought I might have. No, I left it. Yeah, I gotta be vigilant about that fatigue bar there, the stamina bar. Alright, I need some more rest. That's okay, man. I'll make it. I'll make it. I just love the menacing darkness here. What if we... I know I'm always saying like, oh, this would make a good like thumbnail, and then after the fact, I don't like even try very hard to find the best thumbnail. I'm like, oh, here's a part that doesn't have the HUD. Let's grab it. Okay, let's go ahead and eat some more meat. Oh, I'm not hungry enough. Never mind. I wish I had that impulse in real life. Okay. Yeah, yeah. Darker dungeons. I love it. Kind of announcing our presence to the enemies. That's okay. Let them come here and see. Oh, man. I'm so glad that these are just, like, very beatable enemies. Because that little jump scare could have killed me if it was, like, one of the previous dungeons we found that was really intimidating. Let's light just a couple of these candles. We don't have to do them all. Feels kind of like ominous whenever the skull candles are all in a ring here. I don't. This is like too much metagame, I guess, or I don't know how to describe it. I feel like I'd be superstitious about summoning a demon if I lit all of these. Let's just light a practical amount and go on our way. So we've only encountered animals so far. Is that the only faction we're going to run into? So I'm going to revisit a couple of topics I talked about in the last video. One of them is like, or maybe not in the last video, but you get the idea. I've previously talked about how I try to resist the urge to have some sort of stimulation going on at all times, like podcast, YouTube. It's very tempting just to like drown out all of your thoughts and emotions by having something on all the time. And I've recently, I guess within the last few months, gotten into... I've reawakened my enjoyment of Magic the Gathering, the card game. In one of my videos, I talked about how whenever I was in high school, I got arrested from... I was stealing Magic the Gathering cards from Walmart, and that, while it was like a funny experience, was a... it's a funny story. It's a traumatic experience for me. It didn't do well with probation, and things like that. But it put like a bad taste in my mouth regarding Magic because it's kind of like a luxury hobby. Like the price point whenever you want to play Magic a lot. Hey, look, we found the exit. All right. Well, do we leave? I guess we leave and see where we are. We are without a horse, and that's unfortunate. Oh, look at that. There's something glimmering off in the distance. There's a couple of things glimmering off in the distance. I love this. Let's go and poke our head in a bit longer now that we know where the exit is. Yeah, if you want to play any like enjoyable format, Magic just has like a really high price point. You can also play on Magic Online or Arena or something like that, but no one's just going around and playing Legacy and paper, and like that's really the only constructed format I care about. Paying for like sealed events or draft events are also kind of expensive. So the cheap alternative is playing Magic Arena like on your phone or your computer, but that just like it takes up so much time if you don't want to if you want to do it free to play. It just takes up a ton of time, and it's like the time it takes to do that grind is more expensive or more costly. Look at that Holy Tome, awesome. Is more costly than the money that you would otherwise pay. And, just kind of on the fence about that. Um, but I'm really interested in playing the limited formats where you play like you're either drafting, like opening booster packs and I won't explain the whole system to you. You probably don't care. The point is, it has a more limited card pool, and you will have better results in your games if you know the cards in that card pool. And like that's my favorite style of play for Magic, but it takes so much time and effort just to like watch all the YouTube videos and podcasts and things like that to stay up to snuff on that it's like it's become exhausting. Like I had just gotten used to the previous set, Outlaws of Thunder Junction, whenever Modern Horizons 3 is like having its pre-release as you're watching this, or the day that you're watching. Oh, I'm assuming that you're watching this on Friday, the day it comes out. But you get the idea. It's just it's a lot of brain fatigue to keep up with that hobby, and yet I find the gameplay itself so stimulating that like I want to keep doing it. It is a lot of fun, but man, is it exhausting. Um, and so in that previous video, I was talking about how I don't want to always have something on in the background, and yet my enjoyment of Magic the Gathering is really conducive to having something on in the background all the time. And I've tried to strike sort of a balance of doing some chores around the house with like a podcast or a YouTube video in the ear, and then refraining at other times. And I guess I'm still trying to find that balance, but it's getting increasingly difficult the more I get into this hobby. And it's like you start to recognize the futility of these things whenever the things that are supposed to bring you pleasure start to bring you like fatigue. Hey, we pacified this rogue. Hey, chill, 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 chill. Maybe I can pacify her too. This one's not impressed. This one's not impressed. What about this one over here? Nope, nope, okay. Let's see if I can help my buddy. She's holding her own. I hope I didn't anger her. Okay, no, she's still on my side. She's dead. They just have like, I thought this might have been a dungeon there for a second, but this looks like literal ruins. I'm gonna say it again. This could be a good thumbnail opportunity. You know, you just never know. Maybe whenever I'm flipping through my footage, you know, we gotta do this bow drawn and everything. You can't pass up something like that. I probably will. All right. Give this guy the old triple boot. So I'm a bit torn right now because like I want to know where I am, but also how would my character know where I am? Yo, magic boots, dwarven armor. This is pretty sweet. The armor, actually, it's not that heavy. I was expecting it to be way worse. It's 1.5 kilograms, sure. It's actually the same weight as these tall boots. Something seems a little off there, but you will not hear me complaining. Join the ambiance. Hey, look, free arrow. That's our 11th arrow. One cool thing about having almost no arrows on you is finding one arrow becomes such a celebration. It's kind of like whenever you're going from shop to shop looking for arrows and you're not really expecting any, but you somehow find it. I'll look at, what are these called? Something in Secunda? Menor in Secunda? I don't really know. I feel like there is another settlement sort of thing around here for us to check out, but it's going to be daylight soon, I think, and I don't know. It's pointless to stick around here any longer than we have to. Let's go ahead and get healed. Oh, there's some nice level ups. All right. So we were on in the Isle of the city of Bubisada out here on this island, and we got transported to really far southwestern region of Sentinel, but we were actually pretty close to Sedutuo. Is that right? Yeah, let's go ahead and just like, how far will we get? Oh no, I need to I need to yeah, save. Paranoid of falling through the map. Some of the mods that I've changed up recently have affected the frame rate and performance some, but I also feel like I can't do without, oh man, even without the horse, it's, yeah, I don't know if I can commit to going overland, but man, I thought that just walking would be fun there. Okay, we found a map. Where is the dungeon that this map points toward? It's called the Holds of Deg. Wow, that is really remote. It's right here on the border. It would actually be easier to go over here to the whatever this region is called. What's this region called? The Hagia Sophia. Hagia Sophia region. We can go here to the capital and then make excursions to the west. But we're trying to make an impression on the nobility of this region. And for that reason, we are going to just like do some cautious fast traveling over here. Maybe get another quest. I wonder, is there... I can't help but wonder what my objective is for this quest. The Unexpected Journey. Doesn't seem to have a... Okay, yeah. We need to go back to Grercam and, like, kick this guy's ass. Which seems like a fair idea. But also, whenever you get back to him, what's stopping him from just warping you there again, you know? I guess if we were to try to be... A knowledgeable mage might hypothesize that because you kind of spend the anchor whenever you teleport yourself, this guy had like a one-time use charge of teleporting somebody else as well. Okay. You all see the palace? Yeah, I know I can like press the map button and go, oh, look, that looks like the Thieves Guild. I don't want to get into any more trouble though. Yeah, I could just press the map button and go look, but I'd really like to find the palace. Oh man. How much fall damage? That wasn't too bad. Okay, let's go take a look. Oh, this was not the Thieves Guild? It looks like the Thieves Guild building. There really is not a palace in this town, is that right? Oh, I thought I went... Damn it, Micah. I thought I went to like a major city. Well, I guess the icons don't always tell the truth. Alright, you got any alchemists around here? I'm kind of low on potions of healing. Oh, thanks, man. The Noble's Carafe. And I guess this would be a good time to buy a horse as well. These are both in the town center up here to the north. Oh man, but I only just now got Ronaldinho. I'd feel kind of bad to ditch him so fast. And yet we are adventurers. Replacing horses is just kind of the name of the game. Can I grab on? Yeah. Man, I love the traversal. Okay. You know, I was kind of expecting to do more climbing in that last dungeon. I really love whenever I find dungeons that force you to use the verticality that the game offers. I guess they don't always force it on you, but that it kind of rewards you for using it. And of course, you could always use levitation potions and things like that, but that's not my style. I guess I can sell my fur armor. Hopefully that doesn't like bite me in the ass later. Alright, we got a pretty good amount of coin for, well, we'll see. Yeah, 1,000 gold. Now, do you have any arrows that I could buy off of you? Got an arrow. What is up, folks? We are so back. We got an arrow. About this one. Alright, well, it is worth checking. Let's get out of here. Alright. Speaking of we are so bad... Oh, look, this guy looks like Prince Lhotun. That's pretty cute. Speaking of we are so back, here's a potion of heal true, potion of stamina. Those are both great to have. I've talked a little bit about how my wife hasn't really liked a lot of anime until we started watching Dungeon Meshi. Apparently it gets pretty, like, gory and horrifying in a way that she would not have like agreed to sign up for, but she's already invested in it, so joke's on her. But once we got into the sort of anime state of mind, she became more receptive to other anime. I've tried to pitch her on this one before because she played volleyball in high school and was really into it. But after we finished watching Dungeon Meshi, I'm like, man, we could just try Haikyuu, and that's been kind of awesome. It's like the volleyball anime. It's just cool to have a show to watch that we're both on board for, rather than feeling like we're making a compromise, which I don't always do, but sometimes the garbage that we watch together is like not worth the time that we spend watching it, and we have such precious little time on this earth that it just seems like a waste of time to do stuff like that sometimes. So yeah, it's good to find shows like that to bond over. I wonder if wearing this hood is a little too much during the given all this heat. I feel like I wanted something from the general store, but I don't remember what it is. Oh, the horse. Do I buy a horse? I think I like the practical thing is just to buy a horse. Oh man, that's kind of expensive. All right. We do have a lot of assets to sell off, so I guess that's what we're doing now. But shit, man, this is I know that there's a way to tell like how costly a store is, but I'm really bad at remembering which one it is. Do expensive or do lavish stores charge you more because they have really good stock and can afford to ask you to pay more for it, or do they charge you less because they're already so well off that they can sell something for closer to its cost? And like conversely, do you get more money from selling to the more run down stores because like they're desperate and they need good merchandise, or do you get less money from them because they have less money to haggle with? I know I've like sorted it out in my brain one time that made sense to me, but we are long past that point. Okay, I gotta focus. We're so off track. We're just gonna buy the horse for roleplay purposes. I would rather go back to Ronaldinho, but we're crossing a desert in the heat, so I think it's reasonable for us to just sell some stuff. Let's get rid of all this jewelry. Oh man, we're still okay. We have more. In a pinch, we could start robbing again, but we're already in like such a bind from a reputation perspective that I don't want to if I don't have to. Okay, yeah. So oh yeah, this one's gonna be the Queen of Cans and Jars. This is another commenter's request. It's also another Guided by Voices song. It's a totally fantastic song too. Okay, we got some water skins. Next, we will go to a tavern, and you see, I often make the blunder whenever we have. That's a loud song. Whenever we don't go to taverns that often, we're not talking to the bartender, which is what refills our water skin, and so we want to make sure to do that. Let's drink some beer and take a sip of our Shinerbach for full immersion. After this, I might have to go and like tinker with my mod setup some and find what's causing the frame rate drops for overland travel, because I really would like to just, we're not in a hurry to do anything right now, so it would be cool to just go across the wilderness some, but I don't want to make you, or more to the point, myself put up with that, so we're just going to go ahead and fast travel back to Bubisidata. Okay, so I was gonna like go find the nerd in the Buckingham residence and resume recording there, given the load time that I was experiencing. But then this charming fellow started coming after me once I reached the gates, so let's dismount and show him what we're made of. Alright, stitched into the zombie's decaying flesh, you see the following message. Bogard Masterton. It would be an honor to have you visit me in the demesne at my me and my demesne? Is that a typo? Me and my crib at your earliest convenience. I have a small matter that you are ideally suited for. As always, my servants will test your mettle. Feel free to dispense with them. They can always be raised again. The King of Worms, Master of Scourge Barrow. Alright, so yeah, King of Worms is reaching out to us again. This is before email was invented in Elder Scrolls, so he sends like zombie messengers to you. It's pretty badass. I'm a bit torn about what our play is, because the missing prince quest is actually required if the unofficial Elder Scrolls pages is to be believed. But what do you even unlock for completing that quest? I believe it's the location of Direni Tower. Direni. Yeah. I don't think we have access to the Direni Tower yet. Maybe I'm looking... Is it in Betony? No, this is where the laboratory is. Direni Tower. Why did it highlight Inner Omen of Mara? Okay. Yeah, so... It would be ideal to get on Lhotun's good side just to know where Direni Tower is, so we can... Like, that's a pretty important place in the main quest, so we don't want to butcher that. And yet, there is a way. I might have talked about it before, but in the Dark Knight playthrough that it's on Adventure Arts channel, he kind of did a similar thing where he messed up a main quest or missed a main quest deadline where he's supposed to get a certain main quest dungeon revealed to him, but he still finds a way to do it by going and grabbing the map that indicates the dungeon. So we could do that if we are not successful. Oh, what the hell? Oh. I just don't get what's going on here, man. I thought I would find the nerd and kick his ass here, but in fact we have to go to the palace and kick... You see, this feels even worse. If we were trying to raise our reputation with royalty, why are we rolling up to the palace and like exacting vengeance on the person that's next to the ruler? But at the same time, like, Bogard has to stand up for himself. He's not gonna take bullshit, even if the dungeon was easy. We can't be pushed around like that. So we got to give this guy a piece of our mind. And if that means that the royalty doesn't like us, then to hell with them. We'll go to the Isle of Balfiera and start going to bookstores and asking for maps and shit. I don't care. See if I care. Last loiter till the palace is open. Oh, this is so cool. I'm sorry, y'all are probably getting tired of hearing me be in all of this stuff. I didn't know Gregcram would betray you like that. I ain't got no beef with you, Bogard Masterton. He moved to the Hawkham residence here in town. Look for him there. Alright, if you're setting me up again, I will rip that turban off your head. Alright, and don't test me. I will deturban him. Alright, wonder... I kind of want to equip these tall boots and see if they give us... Yeah, they do give us a passive effect of endurance. I honestly, off the top of my head, I'm not really sure what a really strong endurance does for us. I know that endurance helps your like HP growth, but does that mean I just put the boots on whenever I want to level up and like restore health and not much, like no time besides that? Maybe I just put them on at times whenever it feels right. Like I'm about to fight a tough enemy, so let's put the good boots on. Actually, my other really good item are these sandals that boost my speed, so it's kind of interesting. Which good item do we choose there? Alright, regional, general, I think I'm looking for the Hawkham residence. Oh man, she's new to Bubisi Data also. Alrighty. The north end of town, let's hit it. This is a cute little smoke effect rising up out of the temple. That must be all the incense. Or is this a forge? No, that's definitely a temple. Oh, it's just a chimney. Fair enough. Alright, let's get his ass. Send me to a dungeon, why don't you? I don't know how you escaped from the pit of Morcaeus, Bogard. It won't do you much good, though. Prepare to die. Oh, no. You messed with the wrong... Yeah. Oh, his body disappeared. So is it just, like, over like that? Yeah, alright. Okay. Dust yourself off and go back to it. Surely that didn't... Yeah, I'm still undependable in Sentinel. Maybe we can go back to the palace and get like a real quest from our... I don't know what to call him. I guess calling him the ruler is the safe thing to do. I don't really know what he goes by. The Baron? I don't know, man. It has a kind of Middle Eastern aesthetic to it, but I don't know if there's any in-game implication there about what their royalty goes by. Anyway, we should go see... We should try to do this the honest way, I guess. Before... Yeah, no, he's not having it. You got anything for me? Call me Rice Star. I know someone that may have some work of interest. There's 200... Nah, man, you're just gonna send me to another evil wizard. Alright, bro. Thank you, though. Okay. Well, it's been a pleasure. Oh, yeah, we wanted to explore this place some. Let's do it. Yeah, I just like seeing the modder's handiwork in action. Makes for a kind of slow gameplay experience, but I don't think that you'd be watching these kinds of videos or listening. You wanted some fast-paced action all the time. I saw one comment that was talking about how this series is the most like relaxing and stressful thing that they've seen, and like that's high praise to me, because we really do have like a lot of lulls where we're just doing sort of borderline benign exploration like this. But oh man, look at this, man. This looks like something that there's nothing that resembles this chamber in the base game. You know, like Cliffworms went in there and like hammered this stuff out for us. It's awesome. All right, hey man, what's up, Lothar? Yeah, this is fantastic. Let's go back downstairs. Oh wow, there's a holy dagger here. If we weren't already in so much hot water, like my Kleptomania would be really pushing me here. Oh yeah, we already went to this room. Is there like a downstairs area that leads to the dungeon? Oh look, we got a snake charmer. Dark elf lady, fantastic. Yo, my goodness, this is really good. This is so creative. They have like a little chessboard with these mausoleum pieces. This is really cool. My goodness. Look, this piece has been captured even. That's so cool. Okay. Oh, what the heck? Alright. I thought maybe this was still under development, but it looks like a kind of graphical bug there. It's not visible from beneath, so that's interesting. Storage room. Nice. Oh, look at this. We have the kitchen staff at work here. Oh, hey guys. Yeah, I hope you don't mind. I'm just gonna see what kind of wares you have. All right. Yep, that's where you keep the wine. Good to know. Oh, look at our little oranges. Those are so cute. Oh no, there's a rat. Hello. Oh, is this in the base game, or did we make up this little rat sprite also? That is fantastic. Oh, I wonder, are we able to pet the rat? Oh, dude, I'm so scared I'm gonna accidentally steal something, but... Oh, hell yes, dude. That is phenomenal. I want to put him in my pocket. It's the little things, you know? Hey, what's up, lady? It's a new sprite also. What's up, Bloltki? I don't know what you're doing in here, but you're doing a great job. Keep it up. She has like some sort of textile artisanry going on there, and here's a barracks, maybe? It looks like a barracks. Yo, look at this guy. Man, all these custom sprites are so cool. Oh, look at this scalawagon here. Oh, he's... this guy that's in the cell is a member of the Thieves Guild. It's cool. With every NPC, or with most of them, you can associate a faction ID. And so, yeah, they went out of their way to put the guy that's in the cell in the Thieves Guild. That's pretty awesome. wonder what she did. What's up, Dirta? She looks confident in there and like not really doesn't look evil. Look like she's just confident and like maybe got locked up for defending her honor or some shit, and I don't know. Stepped outside of the law a little too far. Whereas this lady, she looks like she could have been like I don't know, some sort of witch that got caught red-handed. You know how they are in Hammerfell with their superstition of magic. I can kind of relate. I wonder if we were able to talk to this guy. Hey, man. This Argonian seems to have made peace with the circumstances. Okay. Oh, my auto run was a little too fast there. This guy's name is Nast. The nasty guard down here. Man, okay. I hope you all enjoyed this tour of this little palace in Sentinel. I certainly did. It begs the question, though, of what the hell do we do next? You know, we go to Sentinel, and see if we can get some quests from the palace there. I don't know. I should quick save, though. Load time there wasn't bad at all. Okay. Yeah, we'll I don't think this is going to improve our relationship with Lhotun one bit. The one quest that we did, like, it's not very likely. But if someone in this palace will just give me a damn quest, that would be a good starting point. Otherwise, we might really... You see, the issue with going to Isle of Balfiera and starting to look for, like, maps for Durrani Tower... Man, our boy Bogard doesn't know a thing about Durrani Tower. He has to learn this. You know what I mean? I don't want to metagame too heavily just for the sake of completing the main quest. That completing the main quest is the objective, but we should do it through honest means. We shouldn't like use player knowledge that the character doesn't have access to if we can help it. You know, it doesn't feel right. And yet there's like the practical concern of wasting my time by like delaying this too much. Who knows? We'll think of something. Oh yeah. I remember our revelation last time about this place having like glass ceilings all the way around. It's pretty cool. Alright, Lhotun still will not speak with me. What's up, child? Darm. If you want work, I'm looking for someone to take a special ruby to an acquaintance of mine. The reward is extremely liberal. Alright, normally I would turn down courier work like this, but man in the desert takes any water he can get. Excellent, here's the ruby. Kaiv needs to have it in Ozuna in 17 days. That ought to be just enough time, I hope. You will recognize Kaiv. Go to a place called the Masterton Residence and look for a well-to-do merchant. Good luck and thank you. Alright, man. What about you? I love this portrait. That's a really... I don't know. She looks pretty, but also like she's up to something. She's kind of sizing you up. Okay. Going to be a bit more overland, not overland, skipping the overland kind of fast travel that I'm used to here. Wait. Oh, so I'm not going to a different region for this then? I thought Kaiv was like the city that we're going to. Osuza is the place. Osuza. Also, the menu just told me that this is contraband. Like, am I actually helping Prince Lhotun here? Or am I gonna get on his good side by helping out this guy? I don't know. Lhotun doesn't seem like the kind of corrupt official that are in so many noble courts. Ooh, this is nice. Oh, look at that backdrop of mountains. Man, fantastic. World of Daggerfall does it again. Okay. So we're looking for a residence where a guy is going to be waiting for us. A well-to-do merchant, he says. Alright. Doesn't like people to talk to her like that. I thought I was speaking kind of normally. West. Thank you. Alright, someone says come in. Here's our obvious quest NPC sprite here. Good to see you, Bogard. And the ruby too. Excellent. Here's a little trinket for your trouble. I hope you'll like red. Take care of yourself. Okay. I get a ruby from him for delivering a ruby? I guess, okay. Yeah, thanks, man. Am I done now? Okay, I'm a little concerned that I didn't do something. It just seems off to me, so I'm just gonna quick save. Let's go try talking to the guy again, okay. Man, look at this horizon. Goes out forever. Okay. Enough daydreaming. So I think I've talked about how much I like RPG design, not only the video games, but tabletops in previous videos. If anybody is interested in providing feedback, I'd like to know your thoughts. I've spoken a bit about adventures in my homebrew system called Ammomancy before. That was like a hack of 5th edition Dungeons and Dragons whenever I was into that. That was classless and set in a modern... It's kind of an urban fantasy thing. I think there's just like endless adventure potential in the world around us, and putting a fantasy theme on that world around us just makes things really fun. So I was thinking of developing Ammomancy as its standalone system that would feel like an old school Renaissance game. Without... You see, I don't know how much of a retro clone it needs to be, and with that in mind, it's always tough coming up with, like, what do you do with the magic system? Do you do exactly what Dungeons and Dragons does, or do you come up with your own thing? I think that some people in their in their efforts to be original, end up creating something that like alienates their audience, or it's like so focused on being original that it's not very enticing, or practical for that matter. Let me talk to this guy and we'll pick this up. What? I have a wand that's very precious to me. It's been handed down from generation to generation in my family. Knowing this, a small pack of orcish bandits have stolen it and are holding it for ransom. I have no intention of rewarding them for this outrage. On the other hand, I will pay the full amount for the ransom, 671 gold pieces to you, if you'd go back to their holdout and steal the wand back. Yeah? This is one that we might fail, though. I'm given to understand that the orcs' hideout is in the old ruined Tower Rockter. That's where I suppose they're keeping my wand as well. If you're not back in 12 days, I'll presume you haven't found the wand and will give your reward money to the orcs as ransom. Don't fail me on this, Bogard. Good luck. So did I complete the other quests? I think so. But I doubt Lhotun will... Dude, oh hell yeah. Welcome to Sentinel, Bogard. I guess he must have received my letter. I know that some things about Lysandus, I know some things about Lysandus and why he might be haunting Daggerfall. But before I tell you, you must promise to do something for me first. Is that alright? Yo, that was all we had to do. Why was I sweating about this? We just did one quest. Alright, cool. Yeah, fill me in, bro. You will thank Arche. You see, I used to have an older brother, 10 or 11 years older than me, named Plelban. The way they stack the L's in these names can be difficult. Whenever I ask what happened to him, I'm told a different story. Some say he got sick and died. Some say he was kidnapped by the Underking. I want to know the truth. If you can find some proof of what really happened to him, I'll tell you all about King Lysandus. Thank you, Prince. I will gladly do that for you, bud. Alrighty, in the meantime, let's go look for arrows and potions to go to that orc stronghold, because with horrible hordes enabled, we have our work cut out for us, because we don't immediately have this info yet. We have to go kind of like, I guess the good thing to do would be to ask around some. You know about Flelpon? Yeah, no. You see, I mentioned before that we shouldn't metagame too much, and yet I know that it's not very practical to go and ask around because we're just going to get like a note with it, but I guess on the one hand, Bogart would want to go ask around the palace about that rumor, but on the other, if Lhotun gets snubbed by everybody and I'm obviously like an agent of his, then wouldn't I just get snubbed also? Anyway, About the magic system in Ammomancy, I'm stuck between just using the very familiar and very portable spell points, or what do you call it? Spell slot system that is often called Vancian magic that you encounter in Dungeons and Dragons, and coming up with, like, I don't know, just using mana, kind of like the way FP is used in Dark Souls 3 and Elden Ring. You could use mana for abilities related to magic, but also could be used by non-magic people, and that would give you a kind of uniform resource to use like that. I'm not sure how I feel about that though, because I want the experience to be as seamless as possible once you've already created the character. In Ammomancy, the difficult or the complexity is always character creation, and once you're through that, the wind is at your back and it's pretty straightforward. I also want to implement some sort of stamina or fatigue system so that the more you exert yourself, the worse your rolls become, and it kind of encourages you to think before you cast. Like, you know, in most Dungeons and Dragons systems, like, you're encouraged just to spam all of your spell slots in a given day. But in a game like Shadowrun, a spell has a force value associated with it, right? And so whenever you go to cast that spell, you have to roll to not take some sort of damage from the force value. And I would really like to adopt that somehow, but I struggle to find a way to adopt that in a way that feels familiar under the Vancian way of doing things. Begs the question, like, how much should I care about familiarity? So this is where I am right now. There's some analysis paralysis kind of stopping me in my tracks here. But in general, while coming up with games or while writing fantasy and fiction and things like that, I find that the desire to be original is actually pretty harmful to the overall quality of it, because being relatable and being intuitive is way more valuable, in my opinion, than being original. So maybe that guiding principle will kind of just steer me back to Vancian magic, and that way I can, I don't know, maybe just keep Vancian magic as a system and then throw a stamina system on top of that would probably be the most logical way to go about it. We got a couple of healing potions, and it's pretty cool. It's pretty cool. Let's go ahead and sell. Yeah, we have some ingredients here: Ghoul's Tongue, Daedra Heart, Tooth, Blood. We will hold on to the gems. We have so many potions of teleport that it might behoove us to go ahead and drink one now that we are in Sentinel, because we're on a timed quest now, and it really would be unfortunate. I should clarify, the quest for Lhotun is not timed. We don't even know where we're going yet, but this one with the orcs is. And so having a home base to warp back to, like, that's reasonable enough for us to warp from again. Oh man, but we don't even have enough arrows to go approach this place. The thing about the orc stronghold, it's gonna have so many warlords in it, and these warlords I just cannot approach safely. Although we're at 160 health, that's pretty good. But the fact that we are using hand-to-hand as our melee option of choice means that we're not that good at melee. That might sound kind of like counterintuitive considering the nature of this character. But our damage output is just not as good as someone who has a really big sword, who can step in and bob and weave and then just get like one good hit on the enemy and then back up. And, you know, we rely on getting multiple hits in for damage. Putting ourselves within range for multiple hits exposes us to more attacks and thus makes combat a bit more dangerous for us. So I would like to have a little more cushion as far as arrow quantity is concerned, but it doesn't look like we are finding much. And if that's the case, we're gonna go with the "it is what it is" clause. And oh, 19 arrows. What was I worried about? Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? 19 arrows, and I was worried. Silly me. All right. Okay, Now, we don't have a ton, 33, but that's enough for me to get in there, you know? That's enough for me to take a couple orcs down and recycle the arrows from their corpses and stuff. So let's go ahead and find where Tower Rock Door is. I like all the dungeon diving we've got to do. Okay. Tower Rock Door. Let's go down here to Baghakawan, and we will set an anchor here after traveling recklessly. That way, if we need to warp out, we can. We can still return to the dungeon if need be. Although now that we've gotten a quest from Lhotun, I'm not really sure how important it is that we like fulfill this orc quest, but I don't know. How many potions of teleport do we have? That could be a factor. Oh, we have a potion of seeking to burn also. That's good. We only have 2 potions of teleport. All right. False alarm, y'all. We're just gonna go straight there. If we fail the quest, we fail the quest. It's so fine. Have to be a little bit apprehensive of these. Yeah, this I can recognize this shape. This is exactly the kind of dungeon that Kirstia stepped in whenever she died. But of course, we are like Kirstia is just a distant memory for me at this point. We're so much stronger. So much time has passed since then. So much has changed. Okay. Okay, we have a boar. Let's kite this boar. Okay, I don't like the kite the boar idea. One, Bogard is not the coward that my other characters are who are into kiting. We will have to do that. We've already done it for like survival's sake sometimes. But also, this gives us a more solid means of retreat if we just don't engage with that tactic. So let's not. Oh, hey, another boar. All right. Feels good. Getting some reliable attacks here. Go ahead and light this torch, kind of as a way of saying we were here. And, you know, we will, in fact, we're going to drop our campsite here. And I'm going to say, it's right here by the entrance. So hopefully I can remember to pick this up before leaving. And leave camp on our map there. Oh yeah, we need to put some more oil in our lantern. Oh, we should have bought more oil while we were in town. We only have 2 things left. Worst case scenario, we'll just start plucking torches off the wall, of course. Got the mini game of resource scarcity again. Do we waste arrows by firing at bats and possibly missing, or do we want to level up our archery by firing at bats anyway? We actually haven't even found any orcs yet. I wonder, like, is it worth using a potion of seeking now? I think so. We can always buy more. I hate to, like, I don't want to hoard items whenever I could just die at any moment, and, like, maybe if I had used the item, I would not have died, you know what I mean? That kind of rationale makes me miss playing Fire Emblem, but I don't, like, don't have much time for video games, you know? This little time that you're seeing right now, this is basically all the video games I play, and even then, it's like, what, 1 or 2 hours at a time, often broken up, like through multiple sessions throughout the day in today's case. And it's kind of like what I was saying before about how Magic the Gathering takes up a lot of brain space for me. If I were to, like, I have a Game Boy Advance with all of the Fire Emblem games on it. By the way, one of the best, not all the Fire Emblem games, all the Game Boy Advanced Fire Emblem games on it. One of the best gifts my wife ever gave for me was a Game Boy Advance cartridge that came patched, like with an English patched version of Fire Emblem 6. I love that. It's a janky game, but I love that so much. But the more I like allow those kinds of activities to take up brain space throughout the day, throughout the week, the less I find myself doing the things that I want to do with my time, such as, I don't know, recording videos like this, or reading a book, or giving my brain some peace and quiet. You know what I mean? We really do need some peace and quiet, and we rarely allow our, speaking on behalf of all humanity by saying we like this, but I think you'd know what I mean. We often don't give ourselves the space to have that peace and quiet. Like just yesterday, I spent a lot of time I had a stressful day at work just because there were some complex issues that I wasn't having a very easy time figuring out. But in between those stressful issues, I was just like doom scrolling and doing a little bit of like chess puzzles on Lee Chess. I'm not very good at chess, but it's still fun. And I did not give my brain a moment to breathe at any point. You know what I mean? It's exhausting. So yeah, I could just carry around my Game Boy Advance SP and play some Fire Emblem like between tickets. I probably will, in fact, because Iron Man and Fire Emblem is just so fun. Um, but yeah, it's exhausting to just like keep your brain fed all the time with this bullshit. Gotta give yourself a break, man. Gotta be okay with some boredom. Gotta be okay with boredom once in a while. There is serenity in boredom. Boredom is actually a good thing. You know, many humans for millennia, really, they didn't have the luxury of being bored unless they were prisoners or something like that because they were worried about their survival. Um, so, in that sense, being bored is just a privilege that we should allow ourselves sometimes. Being bored is also kind of like a state of meditation. I don't know if any of you out there have tried meditating actively. It is such a slog. It is so boring, and those things go hand in hand. And whenever you allow yourself the room for your brain to be bored and to take some breaths like that, uh, that's whenever questions like, what kind of magic system should I have in Ammomancy? That's whenever the answers will find you, instead of you racking your brain to find the answers. Give yourself the space to allow the answers to find you, you know what I mean? Um, I've kind of acquiesced that I'm never really going to be a fantasy writer. I say that now. I just mean that I've been so busy ever since my son was born that I haven't been able to follow up on any of the projects that I want to like really focus on. All right, I lost my train of thought there, to be honest. Um, but yeah, I often, whenever I was writing, because like whenever you are writing and it is a habit and you do it for a lot throughout your day, you don't struggle with writer's block quite as often. But for a while there, while like Hudson was still in this earth, I'm sorry, he is in this earth, but while he was post birth, he's my son. We're doing our relationship thing and juggling 1,000 tasks at any given moment. You know, being a writer is just way, way harder because it's hard to commit time to it. Um, so I was facing writer's block and just writing myself into a hole and not having the kind of Hirohiko Araki style of writing myself out of it flawlessly. But I would find that allowing myself to be bored and to like do chores without listening to some sort of stimulation would be what allows me to have breakthroughs rather than racking my brain until I find the breakthrough. The breakthrough that you find in writer's block by racking your brain is often just contrived. Is what I was looking for. East and lower. So let's go ahead and POS east lower. There we go. So there is, what do we, okay, east and lower. I don't think it's down here. It would fit the bill though, so let's go ahead and, maybe I overlooked it. I don't think I would. We're looking for a wand. We haven't even seen a single orc. Are you kidding me, bro? West lower now. Okay. West lower. So it's going to be on a lower floor regardless, it seems. And the cool thing about this is like now we know that it's between these 2 points here. I really like this, the way that the Potion of Seeking works in this sense. So maybe we'll go downstairs to this little corridor and see what it says there. Whoa. Yeah, so I guess just to ramble more about what I like to write and my process in writing. Back whenever COVID was still a thing, I allowed myself to write this huge mess of a fantasy book that I think it's okay, but I don't really like it. You know what I mean? I don't ever intend on publishing it, even to like the extent of self publication, because I just don't think it's very good. Um, it has non-human races from in it, and I mostly have humans in my fantasy setting these days. Oh, we're not getting pings on our potion here, which is kind of unfortunate. So like the whole premise of the book is incongruous with what I currently do. Um, the whole thing was not outlined very well, and so I meandered quite a lot. And whenever I finished the project and learned what publishers want from a book, I realized that what I came up with was the exact opposite. It was not focused at all. It was just a bunch of like ideas that I really loved and cherished, and it was like a sort of cohesive thing. But it's a mess. I don't care to return to it, and so I had this idea for a project that would basically result in a trilogy. As much as I cringe at the idea of yet another fantasy trilogy, I had an idea that I wait, giant bat just died. I still like the idea a lot of the trilogy. And I wrote the first book of it and it was fine. It was great. I really enjoy it. And I have the outline for the entire trilogy. Oh, we're not going to get another ping from the potion. That's unfortunate. But yeah, I finished the first section of it before Hudson was born, and I honestly just don't think that I will ever like. I shouldn't say ever because this is just a season of my life, right? But it's hard to fathom the time whenever I'm going to have time to commit to it, and by the time I'm ready to like continue writing there, will I even like the project, or will I have matured so much that this childish like I shouldn't be so pejorative about my own like passions and stuff. But that's how it feels. Like, will I have grown out of the story by then? You know what I mean? Yeah, it's difficult, honestly. It's very difficult. So right now, I've kind of given up on the idea of writing just because I find it very impractical, and I don't enjoy it like I used to. It's a bit of a bummer. That's why dutiful viewers will find that I no longer keep the link to my Chattering Jawbone blog at the bottom of the description there. First few episodes I did because I was trying to make like this project I was working on work, but like I just spread myself so thin with these like 5,000 different interests, and I have something's got to give, you know. And it's not going to be my parenting, it's not going to be my fitness, it's not going to be um, I don't know, any of the other things I valued more highly. Oh, did I light this torch, or are there orcs around here? I lit this torch. Okay. I kind of wish I'd get some action here, you know, besides just bats and boars. It's a little bit, it's kind of like child's play here. I don't want to use another potion of seeking. I know I just had that spiel about how hoarding is a pitfall. Hoarding doesn't help you, just use your resources. But whenever we're doing Prince Lhotun's quest, we will actually, like, we're going to want those potions of seeking. We have 2 left. We want to use them both. It's good to get some lock-picking experience done here. To return to another topic I spoke about previously, I mentioned in how much I enjoy that spending time with Hudson. It forces you to enjoy, or with your child, I should say. It makes you enjoy childhood again because you're trying to craft the perfect childhood for your child, of course. And I get now that for like biological reasons, that's not possible for everyone. And uh, I should kind of amend that by saying that not everyone like is going to have a child, obviously, but the principles, the underlying principles behind this notion of like um, enjoying your childhood again or having a childlike joy again because of your child, it's more related to the fact that Hudson causes me to touch grass. You know what I mean? I might otherwise just be inside doing only what I want, which is like staring at a computer screen and like watching YouTube, playing video games all the live long day. But because I have a child who's overflowing with like wonder and curiosity about the world, I end up going outside and touching grass. That's something that not everybody does these days, and like our body, our souls, and our minds are like crave sunlight, and craves the songs of birds, and the hum of cicadas in the summer air, and like the golden rays of the evening, man. And we deprive ourselves of that because we're chasing these like frivolities of video games, doom scrolling, and things like that. And so yeah, more broadly, you can still return to your childhood and enjoy life. Maybe not the same way as you did as a child, but to the same full extent, just by touching grass a little bit. And in addition to that, we don't want to raise tablet babies more often than not. We, of course, we'll put on some Netflix or something like that whenever we want to get work done around the house because something's got to give at some point. But in order to not raise a tablet baby, we must stop being tablet babies ourselves, right? And whenever Hudson's around, we generally have our phones down so that we can pay attention to the moment. So being present in the moment will also help to. Finally lit this candle. Cool. Yeah, being present in the moment will also be conducive to that simplicity and joy that you used to have as a child. I'm gonna punch this boar in the ass here. Yeah, so I might have acted like this is only people with children can be happy like this. Nah, it's just about touching grass and being present in the moment. There's nothing more to it than that, really. Hey, yeah, I don't know how much this dungeon is worth sticking around much longer. We're not finding the wand. We already got the quest that we need from Lhotun. We're not even finding any orcs. I'm sure my disappointment here is just a reflection of Bogard's disappointment that he's not finding a suitable challenger here. We fought such terrifying dungeons last time, and I'm kind of missing that now. Like, I crave a challenger right now. Where are you, buddy? Firelord Sozin, where are you? Okay, Locke has nothing to fear from me. Alright, let's see what we can do. I should not look a gift horse in the mouth. This is like an opportunity for us to train our skills in a safe, tame way. I think I used that phrase correctly, but I think that phrase itself is incorrect. Look, because if the Trojans had looked a gift horse in the mouth, then they wouldn't have gotten sacked, would they? Right? Stupid honorless Greeks had to go in there. So treacherous. Odysseus is known as like a great Greek hero, but he's kind of this embodiment of a cultural paradigm that I resent, which is that whenever you relinquish your care about honor, and whenever you stop like loving the person next to you and respecting them and just like do all the treachery you can to get the results you need, like this is where depravity is born. And Odysseus all over Greek literature is just such a like piece of garbage. I can't stand the guy. And yet, Homer has that 24 book as in chapter, a 24 book epic about him that like it's a good book. I like the Odyssey, but I just can't stand Odysseus. I know this is a kind of common practice, but there's a bit in, I don't know if it's in like discussed in the Iliad or if I read it from like a different piece of classical Greek literature or Roman literature. But Hector, the greatest hero of Troy during the Iliad, he has a young son named Astyanax. And so whenever oh yeah, it couldn't have been in the Iliad if it is about Astyanax, right? Anyway, whenever they finally conquer Troy, to make sure that there's no future revolt, they take young Astyanax, like he's a child, like just a toddler, maybe less than 10, definitely. Odysseus just straight up throws that guy off the rooftop, man, like crushes him. It's just a grisly scene for me to watch. Maybe I just don't have a very strong stomach for these things. But But like you can't stand. I can't stand a guy like that. You can't help but hate a guy that acts like that. Um, there's another play by I think it's Euripides called Iphigenia at Aulis or something like that, which is about how all these Greek damn to luck, all these Greek lords, all their different city states have a coalition and an agreement where if sorry, comment section. I'll probably butcher some of this, and I hope you can forgive me for that. But they have this agreement where if something happens to one of their families, one of their loved ones, all of them will come together to fight the foreign invader or the foreign perpetrator. So Menelaus, the king of a city-state that I don't remember at this time, it might have been Sparta. I think it's Sparta. They have Prince Alexander or Paris from Troy as a visitor. Whenever Paris leaves, he takes Menelaus' wife with him, or rather, Menelaus' wife, Helen, disappears, and they're like, "Oh, well, we know what happened. This hot twink from Troy came over and stole our dude, our the most beautiful lady in mythology." And so Menelaus calls this like oath into practice. He rounds up all the Greek kings, and he's like, "Hey, we made a promise that we'd go and help me out at a time like this. I would do the same for you," things like that. Whenever, of course, it's kind of humiliating that his wife would leave him like this anyway, so he's trying to probably overcompensate them, no doubt. Anyway, he's finally convinced everybody that they need to go make war with Troy to get Helen back. But they have their boats lined up, ready to go to Asia Minor and kick some ass, but the winds aren't blowing for them to sail. Look at this. We got 2 level ups in one session. That's pretty sick. Let's bump our endurance up to 90, and our agility is going to be at 50. We're meeting some thresholds here, y'all. This is fantastic. Yeah, the winds aren't blowing, and so they're like, well, if we make a sacrifice to this god or another, I don't remember which one. Let's say Zephyr, just for the sake of telling the story, the western wind. Make a sacrifice of a young, virgin of really good blood, then we will surely be able to go and sail and do the thing. And so, who do we want to offer except for Iphigenia? Whose daughter was Iphigenia? Was that Menelaus' daughter? I feel like it was Menelaus' daughter. And of course, you're not going to just be like, "Hey, we want to kill you real quick. Can you come help us do that?" and then just kill her. So they have to come up with a scheme. I left my bedroll and it won't be there, by the way. Horrendous blunder. I give up on life now. I went back in just to check, but I know it's not going to be there. Yeah, so they're not going to just be like, "Hey, can we kill you, please?" Yeah, let's do it, Won't be that easy. And so Odysseus is the guy that comes up with the plan that we're going to lure Iphigenia to this area where our ships are by saying that the hottest man in all of our land, Achilles, wants to, I don't know, marry her or immodest things with her, who knows. He's the one who comes up with a scheme that gets the young girl killed. So you see what I mean? Like, he throws babies off the battlements. He comes up with like these treacherous schemes to let the opponent's guard down, the whole stuffing the wooden horse full of men thing. He gets the virgin to like get sacrificed. Like, this guy is pure 100% evil, and yet he gets the job done and he's praised as a hero. So that's my TED Talk about why I can't stand Odysseus. The Odyssey is a good book. Don't get me wrong, that ending scene where he has all of his wife's suitors trapped into a room and he uses the bow of Hercules to just strike them all down while they can't run. Don't get me wrong, that is like some A1 prime literature right there, but he is a piece of garbage. Yeah, we actually haven't been contacted by Prince Lhotun at all. I wonder if we should just fast travel. We need to get our horse before we travel anywhere. We don't want to be out another 4,000 gold. Queen of Cans and Jars is here. The Queen of Cans and Jars will keep us safe. If there are any Guided by Voices fans out there, you should go look up Tim Heidecker's impression of the singer. It's like a little interview bit where somebody called into Tim Heidecker's podcast, and it's pretty fantastic. His like this like off the cuff impression of the singer. Yeah, I really like the vista here. Speaking of Tim Heidecker, that's a hell of a segue. Sometimes I get this weird temptation where I want to do some like weird, this weird bit where I talk about my life as if it's real but it's fictional. Like, you'll never guess what happened to me whenever I was going to work and like this and that. Or, man, that guy who posted videos, who's I don't know, I don't remember his name, but it all started with like Talkie Wop Boing Boing, and then he posts videos that seem like it could be a character or it could be real. Really hard to say. I get tempted to do stuff like that, and I never will because I just like I don't like that. But it reminds me of Tim Heidecker's project on Cinema at the Cinema, where he plays himself, but he's like yeah, I don't even know how to begin to describe on Cinema at the Cinema. It looks like on the surface like a YouTube web series. It started off as like a podcast, but I've only watched like the YouTube stuff really. It looks like your typical web series where these guys are reviewing movies. It's like 5 minutes long per episode, sometimes 10 minutes long. Tim Heidecker and his buddy Greg Turkleton. I wouldn't call him his buddy, in fact. They're more like arch nemesis. But things develop like in such a strange and chaotic way as yeah, they have these weird social encounters with one another, these weird slights that they inflict on one another, and they're both kind of like Greg and Tim are boiling over with hostility toward one another, but neither of them can really act on it in a super sustainable way because they both want to do on cinema at the cinema together, and it's such a catastrophic series. I love on cinema at the cinema so much though. It's like the best YouTube black hole you could ever get sucked into. I actually didn't know about the podcast that it started with until I was texting my friend about it, he's a real Tim Heidecker head. And so he told me about the podcast and I was like, oh, hold up. That day I went to like Spotify and started looking for the podcast. It wasn't there, but I saw that Tim Heidecker was going to be performing at the Boulder Theater in Boulder, Colorado that night. And I'm like, what the hell? Hey, Kaylin, I'm talking to my wife, like, can I go see this concert? Are you cool with that? And like Hudson wasn't there yet, so it was a bit easier for me to disappear on a whim. And I just went to go see Tim Heidecker that night. He did his whole stand-up bit and then proceeded to play with his band, and I was in love with his album that he produced around that time for a good chunk of time there. You know, it's on cinema at the cinema, his outrageous stand-up persona and his like unironic I'm gonna play music now. Like Tim Heidecker is just like I don't know how to describe him. I really enjoy his work though. You know, I was just kind of cruising around Sentinel hoping we'd get that letter, but it's not happening yet. So we're gonna go ahead and take the L on the you know what? We can go look for potions real quick. We're gonna go ahead and take the L on the go get the wand from the orcs quest. Like that was a boring dungeon. We got some level ups out of it, and that's all well and good. But I don't want to waste my or your time any further there. So let's go ahead and get some potions, and we're going to go to Scourge Barrow, and we will see... Oh, man, but what if he gives us a timed quest? I don't remember if the quest that we get from King of Worms is timed, but we do not have a time limit to respond. So, you know, man, I think it might be best for us to just do some questing in, like, the Fighters Guild and stuff like that. I'm trying to think of what that quest is. He might be sending me back to Sentinel, in fact. And if it is that quest, then I do not feel confident that we can, like, take it on right now. No potions of heal true, that's fine. I would like some potions of healing in addition to potion of heal true, because I don't feel like I'm taking a big economic hit whenever I drink a potion of healing, but potion of heal true, it's just at the right price point where I don't want to take it after taking just like a mediocre amount of damage. But that mediocre amount of damage I just took might put me in range of like dying quickly with certain enemies, and you know what I mean? At least we have bandages there to help out with that impulse a bit. Um, let's see. I don't know if we even didn't we find this out in a previous episode that there is not a fighters guild in this town? Yeah. Okay. Yeah, that's right. We were like, oh yeah, we're gonna set up shop in Lanisa or something like that. But things change. The fact that there's a whole week between each recording session, it's like I don't even know what I was talking about last time. You know, I'm just hanging in by a thread over here. You know what I mean? Okay, I feel like I did this last time, but we got to dismount the horse and climb some. I love climbing. I love it in real life. I love it in video games. Wish I got to climb more often. I've had the impulse to go to the Nolan River, which is it's a place that's actually pretty close by to me to do some outdoor bouldering. Um, but Texas has had such torrential flooding recently that I do not think I would be able to approach. Like, I think that the river is just gonna be at the edge of its banks. Okay, climbing this did not get me anywhere. I did not get to jump from rooftop to rooftop. Pretty disappointing, but look at that view. Who could complain? The Mages Guild here has a pretty interesting rooftop. Okay, I jumped in the worst spot, but I still made it. Okay, yeah, it's locked. Typical. Now, what kind of training should we get? More archery training? You down? Oh, look, a thin rail of a woman steps forward and hands you a note. She turns aside all your questions with a gaunt, expressionless face. Could it be? Dear Bogard, if you are interested in learning the truth about Prince Lhotun, meet me at the Eagle's Dragon in Wadi Jabia of Sentinel. How did that eagle get a dragon? Who gave them a fucking dragon? Oh, man. Okay. Let's get some training done. I thought I was going to pick up a quest, but really I think we're just going to get some training and hit the road. Can we afford training, really? Yeah, I don't have enough gold. Okay. Well. Call our horse. Do we know where, yeah, let's see what this shop is. If it's like a pawn shop and we can sell a holy tome or a holy dagger, we'll have a bit more, wiggle room. General store. Do we have anything to sell to the general store? We could sell our boots of endurance. What is the Dwinin Surcoat again? I think it's luck. I don't feel comfortable selling any of this, really. Alright. The training session is not that important. Oh yeah, we gotta go to... Sometimes you expect stuff to be in your quest log, and you're like, oh no, I'll never find this place again. But bro, it's just in the note. Wadi Jabia. We'll go talk to, this mysterious figure here and get set up for the next, excuse me, for the next main quest dungeon, and then we will call it a night. Got that new episode of Dungeon Meshi that we got to go watch. We got episode of Haikyuu that we didn't finish from last night because Hudson started screaming. No disrespect to my boy, that's just how things go sometimes, you know what I mean? Alright, hey man, can you point out... Oh, gonna be going to a tavern, right? Yeah, the Eagles. Eagles Dragon. Point me in the right direction. Okay, there's only two. Yeah, let's just go process of elimination style. Alrighty. Yeah, I hope I can remember to try to do some troubleshooting about the performance issues, because I really do miss the play style of going from place to tavern to tavern, getting food and drink here and there, traveling over the land to see what kind of encounters we run into. Okay. Bogard Masterson? Shh, I would prefer that nobody sees me talking with you. It has come to our attention that the Underking is being wrongly accused of abducting Prince Lhotun. Before you judge, check into the Fortress of Fojum. I'll mark it on your map. Who am I? Just call me a loyal servant. Now move away before anyone gets suspicious. Go on, scram. Okay. Thank you. Alrighty. Let's go, my queen. Oh, stuck in my horse's name and... Oh, man. The Fortress of... I think it was FHO. Fojum. That is right outside of Sentinel. This is actually a place where I've been before for this quest. It's pretty convenient that it's located there, since we'll be able to beat a hasty retreat for potions and things like that as needed. Oh, look at this. You don't get to see fog in... maybe I'm... In the DOS version, you'd see fog in Sentinel or everywhere all the time, but I feel like you don't see fog in this region that often. This is really, really cool. Okay. Yeah, I think this is a good time to stop. I appreciate y'all watching again. I am actually successfully remembering to say like and subscribe. Tell your friends if you're into this kind of long form sort of thing. And thanks for coming along for the ride, y'all. Have a good day, good night, and yeah, I'll talk to you next time.